You all need to work hard to make money. Last year it was $288,000, but the price is up. Now it's $380,000, so you have to work harder. If you want a wife, you need to work for it. Keep hustling.
This is my niece's wedding banquet. This beautiful lady wishing you prosperity and an early child. Can you guess how much it is? Thank you, everyone.
Today, my niece got engaged.
Are you happy?
Of course I'm happy.
Let's see who it is.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, okay?
It's just for peace of mind and savings.
I've grown up this much and never seen so much money before.
Do you all know what Jiangxi is most famous for? That's right. It's the bride price. Whether you agree with it or not, that's just a fact. So why is the bride price so expensive in our hometown in Jiangxi? It's because the culture of comparison is very serious here. For example, if I have a daughter and she gets married, I might let her accept a bride price of 200,000 yuan. Then if someone else, say my neighbor, is marrying off his daughter, he'll want the bride price to be a bit higher than 200,000, maybe 230,000 or 240,000, right? Or even 250,000 or 280,000, and the next person might want 300,000 or 400,000. I have a neighbor whose daughter got married with a pure bride price of a full 500,000 yuan. So the tendency to compare with others is especially serious in rural areas, which is why the bride price here in Jiangxi remains so high. Everyone is always comparing themselves to others. And they don't care whether their daughters are happy or not. Especially in poorer families. The poorer the family, the less they see their daughter as a true member of the family. What are they thinking? They just want to marry off their daughter as quickly as possible. Get the money in hand and use it for their son to get a wife. Everyone ends up trapped in a vicious cycle. In fact, I could choose not to marry off my daughter, or not demand such an expensive bride price. If that were the case, your son wouldn't need such a high bride price to get married either, and everyone wouldn't have to live with so much pressure. But the problem now is that the bride price for daughters keeps going up as they're getting more and more expensive, and the amount given is increasing. The money needed for sons to get married is also rising, creating a deadlock that can't be untied. So, this is the same with building houses in our rural areas. People keep building more and more houses. In my rural hometown in Jiangxi, basically every household has several houses. These houses aren't built to be lived in. They're built to show off one's status to others. Like, we build these houses, but actually very few people live in them. You see, during the new year, hardly anyone comes back. These houses here, many of the houses over there are unoccupied. What are all these houses? They're empty. So, think about it. What's the point of having so many empty houses? They're useless. It's all just to show off, to flaunt, to compete with others and say, hey, look how wealthy my family is. We have several houses here, a few more in the county, some in the city, and lots back in our rural hometown. But in reality, no one lives in them. These houses just sit here, abandoned. It's been like this for years and years. Hardly anyone lives in the houses around here, because every family has built so many houses that there's just no way to live in all of them. No matter how many people you have, there's always enough room for everyone to live in our rural hometown. So actually what we're seeing now is that while housing is extremely tight in the cities, in our rural hometowns, there's a complete surplus of houses because no one actually lives in them. People rarely come back. You see, even during this year's Spring Festival, there were hardly any people in the whole countryside, right? No one came back. After everyone has made some money and moved on, all these houses just go to waste. So this is also the first reason why, in Jiangxi, the bride price is so high. The bride price keeps getting higher and higher. And as for rural houses, people just keep building more and more. But you'll notice that nowadays, people are living with increasing anxiety and don't really have a truly good and happy life anymore. That's also why we people from Jiangxi are so often criticized. They say that this is an important reason why the bride price in Jiangxi keeps rising.
30,000? 30,000?
You go with the ones behind over there.
38,000? 30,000?
Sir, now. And it can't get stuck. Press it once.
To get married, if you don't borrow money, you simply can't afford a wife. The bride price is just one of the expenses. Besides the bride price, you also have to give out cash gifts to the bride's relatives at the engagement banquet. The amount you give varies, depending on the relative's relationship and seniority. The more relatives there are, the more money you have to give. Generally, the usual expense is around 20,000 yuan, depending on the number of relatives. In addition to the cash gifts for the relatives, there's also the change of address fee for the bride, which is given when she starts calling the groom's parents mom and dad. This fee is usually around 20,000 wen, 10,000 wen each for the father and mother, totaling 20,000 wen for the change of address fee. Besides the change of address fee, there's also the fruit money that needs to be given to the bride's parents. This is a kind of compensation to honor the parents for raising their daughter all these years. This fee is usually also in the tens of thousands of yuan, but in recent years, I've heard that this fee has been getting higher and higher, reaching as much as 30 or 40,000 yuan. After this, we have to talk about the matchmaker's fee. This is basically for the two matchmakers and various relatives. Some are relatives, some are matchmakers, and you have to give them money to thank them for arranging the match. Compared to the previous fees, the matchmaker's fee is a bit less. It's about 10,000 yuan or so. After talking about these, the rest is the 3 golds for the wedding. In fact, now it's developed into 4 or even 5 gold items. The cost of these gold jewelry pieces is roughly 60,000 yuan. The minimum is over 50,000. You could say that in Jiangxi, the wedding bride price, including all these expenses, adds up to a huge amount. Without several 100,000 yuan, you simply can't get married. It's fair to say that the bride price in Jiangxi is indeed high. 388,000, 338,000, and 328,000 yuan are the most common amounts. After adding all the other expenses, just like I said before, without several 100,000, you need at least 400,000 to 500,000 yuan. Only then can you get married in a normal way. Otherwise, you simply can't. You could say that this kind of high bride price is just too abnormal. Such exorbitant bride prices are essentially the continuation of marriage as a transaction, using all sorts of excuses and pretexts to take other people's property and money for themselves. I hope the relevant government departments will pay attention to this phenomenon of high bride prices. Although the Supreme Court has previously issued some laws and regulations regarding bride prices, but there still needs to be ongoing crackdowns. Otherwise, this trend of high bride prices will become the norm. So it must be strictly cracked down on and firmly stopped. If not, just getting married could bankrupt the groom's family and leave them deep in debt. So let me ask, can a marriage like this really bring happiness?
How much is this? This one is just under 70,000, and this one is over 70,000, right?
You still have to add a diamond ring. What would it be like without one? I told you to come over. Don't buy it. Just buy it. How can you not buy a diamond ring? Come over. Oh, you can't make it.
No, this one is over 70,000, and if you add a diamond ring, it's over 100,000. At home, we agreed to spend 50,000 to buy 50,000 worth of gold, right? When you bought the house, you said you didn't actually buy it, and it still needs to be renovated. Plus, you said you need to add more value, and that would be over 200,000. How much is all this going to cost? If you want to buy it, you buy it yourself. I can't afford it. Your dad and I are working on the construction site, and you're asking how much it costs to get a wife. You go buy it yourself. Buy it yourself. I'm not buying anymore. If you want to go ahead, go ahead. If you don't, forget it.